samples in 33.
Like you guys have been doing great.
So then we will come to know that how garment is behaving after wash. If it is shrinking, then it is going toward 32.
Good morning. Uh, Thank you all for joining us for this session. This session is focused around unified commerce, and happy to say that ETP has supported this initiative, and thank you very much, ETP. Basically, we want to focus around two areas. One is unified commerce, important, and then the new buzzword, which is AI. How is that enabling unified commerce? So these two aspects of this discussion. Couple of more guys are joining, maybe in couple minutes. But let's start with it. So first, if we can play the AV uh, to understand the whole concept on unified commerce and then bit of ETP.
Every year, over 130,000 retail associates served more than 300 million consumers, driving over 10 billion US dollars in retail sales across formats, across borders, across the value chain. One unified platform for retail and e-commerce success, ETP Unified Commerce Solutions. Over 500 leading retail and e-commerce brands operated 60,000 plus installations across 200 plus cities and 10 time zones, powered by our AI-first cloud-native technology. From global names to regional pioneers. One intelligent partner, ETP, headquartered in Asia Pacific, the presence in 17 countries. ETP is a future-ready SaaS company built for the retail and e-commerce industries. Our value lies not just in what we build, but how we think strategically, innovatively, and always with the retailer at the center. With over 5,000 person-years of domain knowledge, ETP brings unmatched retail experience across verticals, across business models, across scale. One unified foundation, ETP's unified commerce platforms. Whether you're online first, offline led, or omni-channel by design, ETP aligns with your vision. This is why ETP is not just a provider, we're a technology partner. Our enterprise-class, cloud-native solution suite, ETP Unify, is built for agility, scale, and security. Available on cloud or hybrid models, ETP Unify integrates seamlessly with your ecosystem using our powerful API-first integration layer. Our singular focus, helping retailers grow demand, optimize operations, and improve margins. What sets ETP apart isn't just technology, it's the ability to combine robust enterprise capabilities with modern, agile solutions. Our cloud-native, AI-powered platforms are built on secure match architecture, intuitive to use, powerful in performance, ready to scale. With ETP, retailers gain real-time visibility of inventory, driving higher inventory turnaround, consistent, amazing customer experiences, leading to stronger loyalty unified, CRM and promotions, increasing customer lifetime value. One version of the truth, eliminating product data errors and silos. Powerful order fulfillment for seamless, superior service. AI-powered intelligence for improved profitability. Centralized information, reducing redundancy and increasing productivity. Unprecedented scalability to support continuous growth. One unified database, unlocking infinite possibilities. Match architecture, built to drive retail success. Modular, agile, cloud-native, and headless. ETP's asset-light platforms reduce IT overhead and free you to focus on what truly matters, growing your business, delighting your customers, and staying ahead in a fast-changing landscape.
Thank you. To begin with, let's have a small intro from Raj. Raj is the Executive Director of ETP. Over to you, Raj.
Morning, everybody. If you allow me the privilege to make a small presentation of 5 minutes besides what you saw, so that we can set the ball rolling for the discussion. And the thought was about unified commerce and the AI. So if I can just come and present it from the front. Morning.
at IT. Yeah, I am.
Maybe you can just keep this. So I'd like to warmly welcome everybody. Thank you so much for making your time, and thank you to the Images Group, PRC, for giving us this opportunity to share some thoughts. So I'll just move a little quickly. We just heard about the company. I just wanted to leave a thought with a question. Has our business grown both organically and inorganically? And is our technology holding us back? And have we invested enough in technology? Or are we saying that it is holding us back? So I think these are some thoughts and a perspective, because the company grows with a particular momentum. Processes happen, acquisitions, mergers, so many things that happen. But we let our technology be held and anchored rather than it allowing to be kept pace with the business process. So if this thought is an agreeable thought, I'll just move a little ahead quickly. So we just heard about our company, so I won't go more into this part. The focus is Asia Pacific. This is where the sun rises. So we'd rather be a sunrise segment, industry, capability, technology, than a sunset, where the technology and everything is working for those that are closing the stores at 5 in the evening and not working beyond a Saturday, Sunday. Our markets are different. Our technologies are different. Our processes and thinkings need to be Asian first. And that's what ETP constantly believes in and thinks. We are headquartered in Singapore. Hence, honesty, transparency, all of that is as important to us as we build our technology and our business partnership and relationship. So ETP stands for Enterprise Technology Partners. Partnership is the cornerstone to how we think. And if this allows me to move a little ahead. So having worked in about 24 countries, we are able to understand what is the needs of those countries, both from business processes, cultures, technologies, and the taxations. So you can imagine the taxes of each country keep changing. How many of us know that after the decimal there can be 3 units? But if you go to Kuwait, the currency is so strong that it needs to be there. Now, if I have to move the technology from English to Arabic, then it's not going left to right, it's going right to left. So walk-in customer does not become a customer in walk. It is not just literal translation. So when we build the technology, we build the processes, we build the heuristics, the UI, it has to work on a 14-inch tablet or a 12-inch tablet or a 6-inch tablet. So those are the kind of thoughts that go when we build our technology. So these are some of the customers that we're working with. We work with 2 of the large groups here in India, which is the Tata Groups, which is Trent. About 18,000 crores of turnover of theirs goes through the ETP system, and we are able to meet those expectations. And I think that's a tall order from them. They are continuously incubating brands and then bringing the brands out. So whether it's West Side, that's growing at the rate of about 40 stores per year with about 30,000 square feet each, or a Zudio that's growing at the rate of 224 stores a year, with each one being 10,000 square feet. And they do daily replenishment. So you can imagine the kind of power of technology and processes that have to work together to be able to do those daily replenishments. We work with companies like Titan. We work with companies like Metro Brands. So again, you will have a Metro, a Mochi, a Walkway at different price points, own stores, and then they are franchisee for a Crocs. And they have got Foot Locker. Again, different methods of business. Similarly, we work with MAP, which has got about 150 brands in 7 countries. We work with Valiram Group, which is about another 100 brands in 10 countries. And they work airport retailing. We were just discussing a short while ago. Airport retailing is about guilt purchase. They work on casinos, and that's different. And then they work on downtown stores, where sometimes I might buy a Rolex watch on an EMI there. which is different from what I will do at the airport and at the casino. So the same product, different customer groups at different locations. It's like a 360 degree of retail is what we have been exposed to. These are the brands that work on the ETP system. So I was just sharing one of the examples of Marks and Spencer. So when we learn from them, we realize that they want a left shoe and a right shoe to be scanned before it's put in the box, which is very unique to the way they work. It's a 125-year-old retailer. They don't want the consumer to come back. We learn that from them and we bring that back into our technology. And that's how we serve companies like yourselves. So I'd like to take this opportunity to also say we'd like to serve all of you. Please give us a chance to actually work with you whenever the time is right. If I just take a step forward, we've progressed and evolved in our retail side of the business from single channel to multi-channel to omni-channel. It's time to discuss a unified commerce. And it's not just in words. I think there is processes, technologies, everything that has to evolve together with it. And the session today is to be able to encourage that discussion and where are we? How do we harness it? How do we leverage it? Both from business and from technology. And I'll come to this with a small little example of what we are doing on this journey. So the way we see is that we, as a company, as a brand, we have to make a consumer aware. The consumer also has their own discovery process. And they can use various platforms for these engagements. The engagement then starts, it may still not be buying. They're engaging with our company, with our brand, with our product, with our pricing, with our promotions. And then comes the pricing decisions. And then comes the buying decisions. And from that purchase that they make, it could be in-store or it could be online. Their return could be at a different place. It could be through my own store or through my franchisee. How do I reconcile all of this? How do I unify the commerce from my digital platform to my physical platform? And how do I do an after service, which is like we were discussing about returns and exchanges. In this line of business, that's an important part of process. And then that is what builds loyalty. It's not necessarily loyalty points that build loyalty. I don't set out of my home to buy a denim to buy 40 loyalty points. I go out to buy a denim because I like that cut, a low rise or a high rise, a boyfriend cut or a boot cut. That is what I go out to buy. And so if we look at how does a customer journey gets evolved, there is a pre-shopping experience that we all have. There is an engagement during the buying. The buying, shopping can happen online or it can happen offline. And then there is a post-shopping experience. So at ETP, we have constantly tried to learn this process and it evolves. What we have seen is that there is now a unification of the digital world and the physical world. In the physical world, we get joined by a customer sales associate who warmly greets us and invites us to purchase, guides us and supports us in the journey. Whereas in the digital world, we are out in the cold. The technology receives us and is built to be able to serve us. So at ETP, what we have seen is the convergence of the physical world and the digital world, and we have brought that into our application. So how we see this whole journey is, there is an intelligent recommendation that I get on my digital platform. However, when I go to my physical platform, it is up to the sales associate who may be trained, may be new, may be on a contract, and may be leaving, may have less interest in doing what he wants to do with good intentions. So what we've done is we built this into our technology, and I'll just show you a couple of slides more only. Here, if you see on the left-hand side, is my recommendation engine. So in the POS, there is a recommendation engine. This is my POS screen, where I have inherited whatever the customer has purchased in my physical store, in my digital store, and what people like me want to purchase. Like how in the Netflix, like people like you also saw this. I bring that recommendation into the POS counter, and what is my physical inventory today in my store. And so therefore, we are taking data sets, we are taking artificial intelligence, not only of our purchase, but the data sets of others like us. Using that AI, we are making a recommendation engine. And it's constantly learning, it's constantly being prompted, and it's constantly evolving and changing. So we are able to bring the recommendation engine to recommend the purchase to you. Similarly, how many times have you felt disappointed? If you see the 5 number, it's next to the basket. That is my wish list, or that's my the abandoned cart. How does it feel that we have created a brand, brought the customer to this cart, and they've abandoned the whole entire purchase experience? If I'm at the store and I had that footwear which was size 9, I had bought a Wally polish, and a hairbrush, and carted that, abandoned that. And when I go back to a Metro Brands, I bought my shoe. The cashier then says, "Sir, do I also give you a black polish? Do you also want the horse hair brush that you had carted?" Imagine being able to save or retrieve the sale from my abandoned basket in my POS counter. And then I have a wish list. If you see the heart sign, we all cart things, we all put a wish list. So when I'm working with Zudio, there are about 6 to 16 articles that a customer may purchase. The price point encourages more purchase. So if I'm a lady and I've gone to shop, I know that I will be buying this lip gloss, I'm going to be buying this perfume, I'm going to be buying this accessories. I know I can put it in a wish list and my brand will be able to retrieve it over there and serve me. And the technology is unshackled and it's on a tablet. So the sales associate can walk with the customer and be able to bring it. So what is on my digital platform, I've brought it into my physical world. I've made use of AI to make an artificial intelligence and a recommendation, and I've been able to save my sale, making that unified commerce. Therefore, I don't need to have a separate inventory for my physical store or my digital store. I have one common inventory, I have one common customer experience. You can buy at one place, you can return it at another place, irrespective it's my own store or my franchisee. So those are the kind of thoughts that we have put into AI and unified commerce. Once I have done that, I want to also keep my customer engaged after the sale. So I give you a digital receipt, not just an electronic receipt, which is a tiny URL, but a digital receipt where you can see the next promotions. It could be a video, it could be a static. And from there, actually, if you see on the right-hand side, while the customer was making a decision, the customer was also on the right-hand side able to see the basket and all. So if the cashier forgets to help me, I am able to remember this because it is there on the screen with me. And that is another experience of a unified commerce. Once I have done this purchase on this digital receipt, would it be great if I had a feedback on my product, a recommendation of how many stars this product has, my store experience, updates of my data, of my buying patterns, my data, of my phone numbers, emails, and continuous engagement with the customer. And then a unique privilege that if you come offline to online within the next 1 month, I give you this extra privilege. It could be 200 rupees, it could be 500 rupees, it could be 2%, it could be 5%. So I'm engaging with the customer even though they have left and bringing them to the online. And from the online, I'll bring them back to the offline with a similar incentive. So I'm increasing the recency, the frequency, and the monetization. And the feedback that earlier the head office used to see is now seen by the store. So can you imagine the power if the store associate is able to see how many times they've bought, how many returns they have, are they in a happy state today or no? And then actually I can see how much of vouchers they have and I can consume that with them. So your company ETP has worked all of this work together with all of the feedback that our customers like Valiram or MAP or Titan or Trent have given and brought this technology. We are available on the booth 13 and I really hope we can have another engaging discussion over there. I'll leave the platform to Bhavesh. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Raj. Very interesting because when I'm going through it, this is truly unified commerce. Right from awareness to acquisition to purchase, and then post-purchase, the whole journey gets completed. So basically, unified commerce. One is the convergence of physical world and digital world. Second is how the various business processes get aligned with technology, and then, how do we create a really truly unified experience, right from, you know, physical, digital inventory, like what Raj explained, customer behavior, personalization, all of this, and then post purchase, the whole CRM aspect. Now, first point which I would like to, get from everyone, which is a feedback on how do you see the evolution of omni-channel to unified commerce. I know, in the year 2016, 17, 18, omni-channel was a big buzzword, and everyone was saying that, we are omni-channel, or we are planning to go omni-channel. We ourselves launched something called India Omni-Channel Index, which is on the preparedness of how brands are prepared towards their omni-channel journey. Then came Phygital, you know, which is the convergence of physical, digital, across different processes. So I would like to understand, the journey of from omni-channel to unified commerce. Where are the brands in the current stage, if they can share, and how are they looking at unified commerce as the next big phase of evolution? We can start from here, Bala. Sorry, Ajay.
Uh, I think it is still a evolving thing. If you ask me frankly, there are challenges, and these challenges are not just the digital part of it, but also the physical part of it. So let's accept that. And how do we bridge the gap? That is something that can be addressed slowly but surely. But you will need to kind of bring customer, uh, what do you call, the behavior also into play here. It will not just be about how we do the technology front of it. How are we making the customer? For example, today, I think everybody wants to go and purchase and do a GPay and get out, right? Nobody wants it, but was that true a few years back? No. So how did that evolve? So that is a pointer for us to also try and evolve the customer behavior or change the customer behavior with some kind of that kind of technology impact in solutions. How that will come about is something that I think it is still evolving. But yes, that is something everybody wants to aspire for. They don't want to. We don't want to leave any customer from any channel anywhere. That is the whole idea. कि कहीं भी पकड़ो लेकिन पकड़ो.
Sir, you have, Anand sir, you are present online, offline, across 700 plus stores. Where do you see the role of unified commerce in the business, which you are? Wellness.
So let's understand what we mean by this. We mean that any customer trying to purchase any product of your category from anywhere has to be serviced. You forget the aspect that whether it will be serviced through a retail store or my distribution office. Whichever place that I can service it from. But whichever place I catch him trying to buy or at least giving me a hint of purchase, how do I ensure that he is serviced? So for that, what we do is when somebody comes to our online store, which is our Shopify portal, and we see that actually he can be serviced better from a retail store close to the location where he is. And we redirect that order for execution to the retail store. So that's omni-channel. So omni-channel is not about just closing a sale, but actually executing it from across the board. So we can redefine the way we want to define this whole process. As not, there is always a, credit लेने के लिए retail store बोले मेरा सेल है और ऑनलाइन बोले मेरा सेल है. अब दोनों अगर बात नहीं करेंगे तो ये omni channel experience होगा ही नहीं.
Thank you. Lakhbir, KKCL, Killer, one of the biggest brand in the country today. And you have presence offline, online, different brands. So where do you see, you're a omni-channel player, you're a truly unified commerce player, and with the current scenario of, right from awareness to purchase to finally integrating that into store, where do you see that whole journey in your business, and how would you look at unified commerce as a solution to your business?
Good morning. First of all, I like the presentation. I have 2, 3 questions to ask after answering his question. I will. With us, we are India's second largest denim selling brand in India, and we have invested 32 years in the brand building only on brick and mortar system. So having 440 stores, having a decent exposure on distribution in departmental store, in EBO. Online is the last column what we ticked. Omni is the next one which we are taking at present. And unified commerce is something which I'm finding it interesting and we should discuss it more. Uh, the way I see that currently the organization is treating online consumer and offline consumer with a different lens. We want to treat this petrol and diesel separately, though both are fuel, but the way we treat them is little different. And I agree what Anant Kumar sir said that the online consumer has a different priorities, mindset, discount centric, and but yes, we have seen the pin codes what we serve online are the completely new pin codes where we don't have a retail counters. So we can't say no to that. Though our online contribution is only single digit at present in the total turnover. So, and yes, the future is unified commerce, no doubt. And I want to ask you few things that when you said wish list, a store manager at the time of billing, he can see that इस कंज्यूमर ने 34 साइज की ब्लैक डेनिम पसंद करी थी, बाय नहीं की, only from his company website or from marketplace as well?
At the moment, Lakhbir Singh, this site is the company site.
Company site.
I can do it from anywhere, but the brand marketplace may not give that information.
They won't share you the data.
They won't share.
Number 2.
Hanji.
Can it be reverse also? Somebody is buying it brick and mortar and coming to my website?
Absolutely.
Is it
Absolutely.
free flow?
Therefore, is unified.
Understood. Understood. When you said that I will also recommend that a customer who bought this denim has also bought this polo t-shirt or round neck t-shirt, it is possible only in case of when customer is already registered with you as a loyal consumer or even for the first timer?
It's generally for the one who's loyal, at least 1 or 2 purchases.
So you
would
can
have
see the
happened.
buying statistics.
That's right. That's right. But as soon as they have purchased, whether they purchase it through our digital platform, they have to register themselves. Now, when they're coming in through the physical platform, also be registered. So right from the first purchase, we should be able to
Any
start to
platform,
build.
but he should have that.
That's right.
So that you should have a data of his size,
That's
color, price centric.
And if I can extend this to an influencer, if I am today a customer, I have an influencer. Till yesterday, my son was buying a particular apparel at 5,000 rupees because his father was paying for it. He went to become a college student and went to stay independently somewhere. Now he can afford a 2,000 rupee shirt because now it is coming from his budgets. And his friend is his influencer, not his father anymore.
Right.
Then he has a partner, he has a spouse, they become his influencer. So the customer is constantly also with a family or a friend being influenced. And I'd like to bring that for a discussion to be able to capture that information as well.
Lovely. I will share you. We recently introduced Junior Killer.
Okay.
From 4 to 14, the buying pattern from 4 to 9 is different. Decided by mother, influenced by mother.
Yes.
After 9, it is the complete boy.
Exactly.
The date of birth, what we were registering in our CRM,
Yes.
is the buyer date of birth, the mother date of birth. But after 9 years,
Exactly.
that date of birth is no use.
Yes.
The boy say, अरे मेरा birthday है भाई, मेरी mother को क्यों wishes भेज रहे हो? So now we are in talk with our ERP solution that we need 2 date of birth solutions. And if somebody is buying from 4 to 9, let it goes to her mother or his mother. After 9, it has to ultimately elevate. And we are feeding. Like Mayank के बेटा आए 7 साल की उम्र में उन्होंने 7 years की बाइंग करी और वो नहीं आए 2 साल, तो 10 साल बाद वो automatically it will stop sending messages to the mother side.
Absolutely.
So we are facing that.
Yeah.
Very interesting that you are touching that point. Lovely, lovely.
Thanks for joining. You joined late, but if you can introduce and your view, because you run the largest footwear chain in the country, and Ing5 is the brand. So, unified commerce for a footwear brand, very, very important because there is size and product, colors, all of this is integrated into it. And the store size is limited, meaning you can put X number of pieces in a store. Footwear requires a lot of store size. So, where do you see unified commerce from online to offline and the integration from the whole buying to final checkout and CRM? How do they look at it? Basically, you know, the whole customer journey for both the channels, how do you see as integration in your business?
So, sorry I was late because I was informed very late. So, I have to rush from office. There were some meetings were lined up over there. So, when I saw this third slide of yours, like pause slide, so I was completely like, it's a wow. For me, it was a wow because it was a complete journey of a customer from online to offline and offline to online, which you said. So right now also the stores are doing it, but they are doing it to bits of pieces. Like for CRM, there is a different page they have to open. For online, they have to see different page. So catering all the things in one page, it's a helpful for the store manager. And till now, I was also like into like when a customer is walking in, how do I know what they have bought? So what we do is like first we have to open one page, put the data. If that also, if I know the customer very well, by face or by number, by if he's a regular customer, so he will know like he's last month he had visited. I just put a number. Sir, आपने last time ये खरीदा था. So I have the better option for you right now. But for that, it's a waste of time for the customer and for the manager because they have to go through pages. But if I'm getting a one platform where I'm just putting the number and I'm getting all the data, so it will be helpful for me. So it's like a complete change in the retail. It's not like only one thing is changing, it's a complete change. So maybe like endless style we are using some of the porters or something like. And if this all this data is coming under one page, maybe it's helpful for us. It's and like the sir said, like in the footwear, there are many limited spaces available for us. And with the help of this, like we can manage a store completely well. What the customer is required and what the online is buying, what the offline is buying, and when the sir said like there are lots of pin codes which are coming into the picture that online is helping us to figure out. So all those things comes like at one page. So it's very great for us.
Just to clarify what he's asked and what my understanding is, all of these applications, whether the online shopping is the shop that the company puts, or the retail physical store, they are all one application. So that means my online store is the same as what is there on the physical store. That's how it works. Because that is why you were able to bring in that data quickly. That's the problem. So I will tell you one thing. Our experience is that the integration just does not work. The moment Shopify upgrades, you are gone.
It's oil and water.
हाँ वो जानबूझ के वो बोलेगा कि ये मैं नहीं करूँगा आपको करना है API का कॉस्ट दो तो that challenge is there, but if you are saying both are same and the experience of an online store that you are providing through your software is equivalent to, let us say, Shopify or Magento, then it would make sense. That's just my observation. Nothing to talk about it in any other way. Just the observation.
I'm sorry, I'm breaking the sequence. I'll forward that question. Only one feedback which I left out. That can that store manager see that what was his last year time shopping experience in terms of satisfaction, that smileys. So can he see that?
Date range that you give. If you allow me to keep a date range for a year, I will keep the date range for a year.
Because it is important
Absolutely.
for me to know that Mayank came last time and he shared his feedback that he was not happy with the wash, with the product, with the experience. So I can build a rapport with him
Absolutely.
and say, last time you had some issues in the fit. So I hope that you are happy this time.
Yeah.
So I think it is again heart to heart connect. So it is there.
It is there. Absolutely, it is there.
He has an access. To see
He has
his
an access. So one of the things that I wanted to actually talk about was the Mac architecture, which is microservices. It is the API first. It's a cloud native and it's a headless. It is not just a cloud. So if it is a cloud, now I can scale in or out the size of my data. And it can be on demand. You can tell me only for 3 months I want 1 year data. That's the power of the cloud.
About the volume of the data.
It is about the volume.
So if the guy is going to buy only 3 times in a year, it's different from somebody who is going to buy every week.
Absolutely. So then that's
Volume of the data is different.
so it's about the policy. Let's say, for example, I want to only promote sale during my off season, because in the season I don't want to give discounts. I don't want to give any waste the time. I want to have a higher throughput. But during off season, I want to promote. I want to have more conversation, discussion. The cloud native helps me scale in and out the size of the POS, which means it's no longer monolithic. It is on microservices, and that microservice can also be scaled in and out. And maybe I can discuss more with you at the booth when we are there.
Thanks. Akash, you bring a lot of international brands. Apparel Group, in fact, has a lot of international brands into the country across different segments. You know, whether it is fashion, beauty, footwear, accessories, and so on. And you have online, offline, both. Where do you see this whole journey of unified commerce currently? Where are you in that stage of unified commerce, and how do you see this into your business?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, when we look the transition from omni-channel to unified commerce, omni-channel was more about, from a retail perspective particularly, how do I fulfill the customer demand? What unified commerce is now doing is, how do I estimate what the customer requirement is? And in that, I think everybody of us will have different journeys, but all of us are struggling with each other to reach the customer's bedroom. So when, for example, say Kartik is scrolling his reels on Instagram at the end of the day, I am supposed to recommend the right shoe with the right inventory availability at the right time. Maybe for Kartik, 10:30 to 11 would be the right time for that particular recommendation. If I send it at 9, it's not optimal for me. A click wasted, a communication wasted, and an opportunity lost again. Plus, when it comes to our business, when we have 3, 4 brands, which in itself have a particular niche in their respective categories. Say I have a Victoria's Secret along with, say, Aldo. So I have a data point where a particular customer is walking into my Victoria's Secret store and buying a bridal suit, for example, say a bridal lingerie. It's up to me and the implementers of unified commerce, along with CRM and AI, of course, have to define these journeys, which you did 3, 4 journeys regarding the cart dropouts, regarding the wish list. Sir gave a very good example of the mother's birth date, which is a very, very valid case. So I have to realize when the customer is preparing for an event and make the right recommendation for Aldo via VS customer, and then maybe suggest a good perfume from Bath and Body Works, right? And these journeys are going to be evolving. Some of these journeys may not apply. Like there are a couple of journeys which I would like to implement and have implemented as well. Say for example, the ultimate goal that I see in unified commerce is, how do I drive my store traffic from the online channel? A lot of brands might already be doing it unknowingly, but we don't have any metrics to measure it. Am I able to do it better than the brand next to me? Am I, like say, the store next to my store, do they have 40% of customers driving in from the online customer base and I'm just doing 30? We don't have those metrics right now to gauge whether we are doing good or bad. I think in the next 2 years, and currently we are at a stage where we are looking at these unified journeys. We are implementing a CRM. Our omni-channel and online journeys are stable. Offline is doing good, scaling up in fact. So maybe whenever we meet the next time, maybe it's in 6 months, a year later, we might have some learnings from what we are trying to do currently.
Thank you. So we have, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi, Raj. I am also Raj, Raj. I am with Style Bazaar right now. I am CMO for Style Bazaar. I joined 2 months back. Before this, I was with Max. So this unified joining we have already started 2 years back. So I'll give both the prospects. One is from Max side, from this side, because it's a India versus Bharat. So when we'll implemented this in Max, offline people they we used to push the message to the offline people, this is available, why you are not coming. So we got 5 to 6% jump in the sales. But when it comes to online, the pin code thing is really matters. You don't know where the customer is and where that guy is buying. So this is the negative side of the Max. When it comes to Style Bazaar, Bharat, we have 70 to 80 store in West Bengal itself. You name the pin code, we are there. So for us to do all these things is very very easy. That's the good part. But bad part is those customer they don't understand all these things. They don't have basic internet facilities. I mean, how to reach out to those people? That's the biggest challenge from our side. I can sit in Bangalore. I can say all the metros thing well connected or tier two, tier three is to. But when it comes to small town, we are there in let's say Muzaffarabad. We are in Kuch Bihar, adjoining to border things, and we are in Assam. So all these things, it's a way because my only suggestion is it's a good thing, but you have to be prepared to serve the Bharat people. That is the biggest challenge right now in Indian retail, and a lot of people are looking to that. Even if Judio is going to down the line, so all the people, it's having a bloodbath in metros. Now people are moving to there, and there also we have to because those people are 2 years, 3 years, behind the metro people how they are behaving. So knowing them and making it more appropriate is the need of the hour. Your three stages of journeying, your moment of truth, first moment of truth, second moment of truth, third moment of truth, everything is fine. First moment of truth, everybody will do. When it comes to second moment of truth, it's a really pathetic situation right now to make it happen and forget about third moment of truth. That's the biggest challenge.
Absolute, very true answer. Jiyahoor, you represent Baggit, and Baggit is an accessories brand, well-known brand, and you have stores across India. From a omni-channel to a unified commerce, again, like footwear, accessories, also has limitations in terms of size, color, product. Where do you see this whole integrated, unified commerce as a journey for Baggit?
Okay, thank you, Bhavesh, for the introduction, and thank you, ETP team. I understood that unified commerce is something I can say that we are working towards that. Okay, so Baggett, I'll just give you a perspective of how the customers of Baggett behaves. So our customers are basically women, women of all generation, 1, 2, and 3. So we call it Saas, Bahu, and Beti. So Saas behavior is like they will go want to check the product, go to a particular store, भाई ये दिखता कैसा है, लगता कैसा है, fabric कैसा है. Whereas Bahu is भाई जो मिला वो ठीक है. And Gen Zs are भाई discount कितना मिलेगा. Three different behaviors. Like I may not use this bag after 2 months, but SaaS will say भाई 6 महीना तो चलाना पड़ेगा, भाई पैसा is value for me. So catering these 3 customers, then their color preferences are different, their styles are different, then their accessories, and then how does that get cater in your point of sale?
I think when you're saying service, which means an article will come and I will be able to recognize it.
So
And I
there
will
is
be
a
able to-
there is a broken chain.
Yeah.
Customer, we give 12 months warranty. Customer will come to the store, get it repaired at no cost.
Correct.
for the next 12 months. So the store manager will recognize that हाँ भाई ये 12 महीने के अंदर का product है, Baggit का ही product है, and they will service to you, and then they will return it back to you.
Right. So we work with a company like Titan,
Okay,
which
yeah,
is a watch company,
correct.
and I'm able to recognize the watch, whether
Yes.
it is in a service or it is outside of warranty,
Yes,
and then I'm able to sell them a service
correct. Fee,
pack fee and see when to encourage them to renew it.
correct.
So we are able to do that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. And then I liked your recommendation engine. Okay, so my thought, I have looked at other point of sale solution also. So what happened is you have to recognize the customer when they are in the store, other than at the last mile when they are about to check out, to recommend bhai aap kala bag le lo, white bag le lo. Rather than the customer enters, I know the preferences of the customer. I can greet them, hi Raj, welcome to our store. I know you like this color, this size, this is a new style. Can you have a look at it? That is something which we would, because that's where the customer feel happy, and they feel that they are known to the store.
Yeah, sure. So one of the things what I think has been explored is the heat maps and the people and all. But I think today video analytics. But I think today we are in a DPTR kind of a concept. It's not appropriate to recognize somebody. What we have done is thus far technology has been shackled to the counter. What we have done is unshackled the POS and brought it to the tablet. And it is now with the sales associate. And if the sales associate walks with the customer and says, ma'am, have you shopped with us before? And if so, can I know your number? And then all the values hold true. So we have unshackled the technology and brought it to the salesperson rather than keep it at the last mile. I
Cool.
hope if that helps.
Yeah, I believe if you can ask the customer only to enter their number the moment they enter, so that
Yes.
others get alerted कि भाई ये high value customer has entered our store. The store manager go and personally visit. Hey, your birthday was last month. Thank you for visiting. That will create more
Exactly.
meaningful engagement with the customers.
Absolutely. So the dual screen that we saw, which was on the right hand side, I didn't start it from there. So when the cashier is actually doing the billing, the customer can see their side of the screen, and there they can input the mobile number. We understand that the customers don't want to give the mobile number to even the cashier. Exactly. Yeah, and it's also privacy, no? And for
And especially women don't want to share the mobile number. हमारे केस में मोबाइल नहीं देने का है. Unless you or they will give a wrong number. How your whole concept will go for a toss. नहीं वारंटी के लिए देना पड़ेगा ना नहीं तो. And then I have one more thing that
Without compromising on the
So, this, I know a particular solution, which is AVID here, AIVID, that has the current, your own cameras in the store, along with their AI-based solution, which identifies the facial recognition and then puts that data into your system.
what his point is that GDPR will
Yes.
come into play, and now DPDP is there, Act is also there,
Correct.
will come into play. So वो नहीं होने वाला है unless voluntarily gives the
Information.
And how do you get that without compromising on getting his personal data?
Correct.
That's the challenge.
Correct. See, somewhere you'll have to have that human interface of, either put that into the system so that the entire system then starts working. So maybe incentivize, you give your details and get 100 rupees off or whatever you want to. Otherwise, to push anyone to give that details is a difficult task.
So we have heard this. So in bags, so yeah, a customer अगर 12 महीने का जर्नी देखूं तो साल में 2 बार ही बैग खरीदते हैं. 2 से 3 is the max. How do we do upsell and cross sell with your solution? If you can give some thought on that, is because recommendation engine is ठीक है. You last आपने ये checkout किया था, अब ये available है, you know.
I think it's a little difficult for us as technology partners to provide you this answer. Maybe there are more better equipped panelists over here to help guide in that direction.
No, basically, I'll take this question. So basically, if you have the number and frequency of that particular person's what he or she has bought, you can always say this will go with this. So that recommendations will go as a message to that particular person's. So I'll come back to Max or itself. So any Western wear buyer bought at the bottoms, we have a matching top. We push that to that customer saying that this is a new available, you can go and buy it. So that can be done. But they are the solution provider. So back end we have to put all these things informations and then push to the customer.
All your promotional, upsell, cross-sell has to be defined by you to ensure that the solution then gives you the right.
So apparel में it works, but bags में is a different ball game altogether.
No, so maybe if I can just attempt one point, taking an inspiration from what Raj has said and some of our customers we have learned from. Everything has got a replenishment cycle and it has got an age. Now, if it's a fashion item, it has got an age. If it's a staple, it has got an age. The second part is, are we replacing the item or are we replacing an aspiration? Exactly. What is the purpose of that? So I think most often what happens is we are trying to increase the sale of a product without realizing that there are at least 4 hierarchies that are working. One is a merchandise hierarchy. Next is a time hierarchy, a location hierarchy, and a customer hierarchy, along with a price point hierarchy and a channel and an employee. So if we are able to harness information on all of these areas, then the technology can help us. Which is why my first slide, many times what has happened, the business has grown, but the technology has been, held back 10 years ago. So I'll request maybe 1 to 2% of turnover we, invested in technology.
Okay.
That's always a demand.
So I have seen other POS point of sale. So where the customer can see the inventory available at the store which he is going to visit. Is that is also
Possible.
Thank you. From technology point of view, we have the information. It's up to the company's policies how much to expose and how much to share. It's not only about our company, but sometimes there are also franchisees. We don't want the franchisees to steal each other's customers. How much data should I expose? How much digits of the phone number? So there are many various factors.
no. So for what happens is, so in our case, women's, they come to a store and if they don't get the product, then they will say, "Bhai, abhi nahi aayegi," because they took all the hassle to visit your store. So it makes a difference.
I think, like everybody will probably agree, there is an endless aisle concept now. And if it is not available in that particular store, it could be available in another store, or it could be available at the warehouse, or similar price point and all is there. Then I think the sales people take over
Yeah.
and are able to do a better job.
Thank you.
Thanks. We have Kartik. Kartik is the country head for Campus Activewear, one of the largest footwear manufacturers in the country with franchise as well as EBOs and own stores also. Kartik, I know you are in that journey of omni-channel already done because Rajneesh is a very close friend and he keeps talking to me. Where do you see the unified commerce when it comes to franchise kind of business? Because you have a lot of franchises across India. Plus, you have online, you have own stores, EBOs. integrating into such a large scale operation with manufacturing also on your side, how do you see the unified commerce journey in your business?
It's an interesting question. We're still kind of grappling with this answer. Uh, what Mr. Ananthanarayan said, and to an extent what Raj said, I think there is an element of scale here from a unified commerce perspective, and brands like us, which are fairly highly penetrated, at least in terms of number of retail touch points. Uh, this is a massive challenge. So for us, I mean, we'll be very honest. We've had a fair amount of challenges even from an omni-channel perspective, right? Because of the volume that happens both either on our own .com or on a marketplace and across our various touch points. And this is not just retail is possibly much smaller than, let's say, a general trade channel where we'd be doing about 20,000 plus geotagged retailers. There is a role for it, but possibly it's more about timing. There's a lot more that brands like us would need to kind of solve for at the back before we come into a space where a unified platform is going to help us build that additional 2 or 3% of efficiency upsides. So there is, but I don't think we are at this point in time looking at it as seriously, possibly as we should. I think there is a phase where we will need to learn and understand what is going to be the upside for us from this. Because at one level, it's good for a certain set of brands. But for us, which is much more mass, I mean, our consumer is mass. So I think someone mentioned, right, Gen Z consumer, kitna discount hai? If you look at our stores, if you look at the way we present ourselves, if you look at the kind of products that we put out, it's very 1, 2, 3. You come in, you like it, you pay, and you get out. That's the experience my consumer values. It's not which is why I'm giving it to him, because they value that efficiency of the money that they're spending there and what they get for it. Now, something like this, which is going to add value to the brand at the front end, I know my consumer better. I'm able to ask him and recommend so many other things beyond just what they're coming for. And you move away from a transaction, you try and build a relationship. But my consumer doesn't want a relationship, right? He wants the best value transaction for him. It's a challenge for us. So therefore, I play in the VFM mass space, right? Am I as aspirational as, let's say, a lot of other international brands? No, I'm not. So for me, building first aspiration for my consumer with me is the first step. All of this will add to that process, and therefore we start the journey of that premiumization or relative premiumization, as I would like to call it. So I think there's a relevancy aspect to it. There are going to be brands and categories where this is far more relevant already today versus people like us who will kind of follow. We'll be those followers. Correct. Rather than actually trendsetters on this.
Taking the lead.
Because of the relevance for it from a business and consumer perspective. So, absolutely. Yeah.
Sure. Mayank, one of the largest, Pigeon is one of the largest. Stovekraft, you are the Chief Growth Officer. And you also have touch points, you have franchise models, and you have online. Stovekraft is now online also. So where do you see the journey of unified commerce?
So I think, one is obviously Stovekraft. I don't think any organization or anybody sitting here would say that we don't want unified commerce. I think everybody is going through a different journey altogether. For Stovekraft, if I talk about, our 30% sales come from e-com, right, which is fairly large. But then the problem is every channel is started at a different stage of the organization. And we are sort of a legacy organization, being a 2,000 crore organization, which is 25 years old. So changing everything today is not a possibility at all, right? Anybody starting new, like he also touched upon Kartik, right? That we want to do it, we might be the follower. The reason for being the follower is you do not have the ecosystem to change your complete back-end digital ecosystem, whether it is your EBO, which you have a separate ERP, your separate ERP is working for your supply chain and warehouse management, a separate ERP is working for your e-commerce, a separate ERP is working, or a tool which you are using for order management system for your GT, right? If you actually want a unicommerce, then everything should be same. And that is something I think anybody who's starting new today or who is at a still a nascent stage wherein you can bear that pain of maybe 5 months, 6 months of that teething trouble when you change to any new, ERP or any backend system. That is, I think, fairly easy than a larger organization. That is one. Number two, every organization, every channel that we speak about, every organization operates it very differently. Even though my sales from e-commerce 32%, we don't have a brand.com. Right? Like he said, we are a value for money brand. People are not looking for me. People are not going online and saying, buy a pigeon cooker near me. People are going and writing, buy a cooker near me. And that is when they evaluate or compare with the competition, they choose to buy a pigeon. So it is very, very different in how we operate on a marketplace also. Are we listed ourselves or are we listed through resellers? No, we don't list any product ourselves. We are a fairly, I would say, Marwadi company. We want the money and then we want the sale. Right? So everything is through resellers. So yes, do we want it? The answer is yes. How to do it? I think we have to figure it out over the period of time.
Thanks.
I will add what Mayank Bhai said, that I think the challenge what we are facing, we and campus shoes are almost in the same boat. My first branded shoe is my first branded denim is Killer. The challenge what we are facing is that we are like a Maruti car. My first car is Maruti, but my second car is not Maruti. Because when I elevate, I'll shift to another brand. So I'm the लोग आते हैं, पहला प्रोडक्ट खरीदते हैं, जब जेब में पैसा आता है तो then they elevate. Okay, it's marrying to your brand aspiration as well, but even brand has to understand that if they will not invest in experience, if they will keep on investing only in transaction, then you will be in the same vicious circle. And that experience, aspiration can be online, brick and mortar, your channel sales across. Actually the major जो महाभारत जंग चल रही है वो यही है कि इससे निकलें कैसे. Actually the denim cost for everybody, be it Levi's Red Loop, 6,000 की denim हो या 3,000 की denim हो, बनती एक ही cost में. Wash में 1,000-1,500 का फर्क नहीं होता, 100-150 का फर्क होता है. कोई मेरे बटन लोहे के और उसके बटन सोने के नहीं लगते. सबकी sourcing cost is same. But I think because they have invested somewhere else and brand has to invest, okay, technology is going to help us. It was the right choice. Just to give you an input the way we do, when we interact with the customer for 40-45 minutes, taking him to trial room, showing him product line. The moment we see that, okay, Mayank Bhai came to us, he bought one denim, not bought, he selected one denim and he's going to trial room. We generally ask him, okay, sir, can I have your number? Because we have surprise gift for every walk-ins. So I don't know what is there for you, sir, because you have already shopped. And if you have not shopped, if you're a first timer, you will already get 100 rupees, 500 rupees welcome bonus.
वो इंसेंटिव आपको देंगे तो आपको
तो
डेफिनेटली
वो आपने उसको बोला कि सर आप पहली बार आए हो तो 500 तो वैसे ही मिलने वाला है, तो ही फील्स ओके. तो बंदा कहता है सर एक राउंड नेक टी शर्ट ले लो, 50% ऑफ है. So that's the one mindset. Second is if you're existing customer, so there's something surprise for you. It can be, and the moment he gives me mobile number, till the time he's buying, I can see कि ये राउंड नेक टी शर्ट लेता है, ये सिर्फ यूएसएस में लेता है, ये सिर्फ 40 साइज लेता है. तो then my manager with the help of technology he can see कि ठीक है इसको ये दे देते हैं. So it is like selling a right product to the right consumer.
It is more about how do you incentivize the customer.
Incentivize that customer. And of course, then we incentivize the sales staff also. Then it helps directly or indirectly into upselling, cross-selling. And then when you are asking that how to invite him again, in our existing CRM, what we do, based on the transaction value, we keep on issuing GVs on the spot. The way Reliance Retail does, कि आपने 15,000 की बाइंग की, आपको 500 के 3 महीने के कूपन अभी दे दिए. I know that redemption percentage is not more than 4 to 5%. But it is again, whatever I get, it is a bonus. So this is how technology is helping out. Technology tells me, if I've seen that Mayank is only a denim buyer, my AI is telling me on the bill number, on the same bill he's getting, why don't you try my t-shirts and get a 500 rupees off. We learn it from Max. When we go used to buy Max, बच्चे की पजामा लेते हो तो वो पजामा लेते ही खड़े हो बोल देता है कि why don't you try the t-shirt. So this is how the technology is helping. But yes, बातचीत तो उसको स्टाफ को ही करनी है. And what we usually say कि trial room is the biggest asset with you, जो ऑनलाइन नहीं मिलता है. जो ट्रायल रूम के बाहर आके आप उसका फोल्ड करते हो बॉटम और उसकी तारीफ करते हो, दिस यू वोंट गेट इट इन ऑनलाइन.
We are shortage of time. Just one final quick word. AI. You know, AI is what? Machine learning. आजकल सब chat GPT gives you everything, you know. Right from if you type everything, content based is yes. According to me, AI can be applied in two areas. Productivity, to increase the productivity. We also spoke, AI for productivity or AI for revenue. You know, where do you see these? You know, I know it's very, very recent because last 1.5 years, AI, everyone is talking. Currently, nobody knows, you know, how AI can be looked upon in their business. You know, everyone is just guessing that I can put it in the revenue part where I have personalization and those kind of things, or I look at my productivity, how can I improve my supply chain, leveraging AI. So I think maybe whoever wants to take it, but quick 5 minute we close, but want to hear from everyone on that. And maybe then Raj can conclude and say if he can talk about AI and how it can help.
I think even as we were trying to grapple with what this AI is about, it has already started evolving into some other avatar. So today we are looking at AI as agentic AI, not the AI that we used to normally talk about. Now it is agentic AI. So I think it is that looks to be a much closer to what reality could be. Instead of looking at AI can do anything and everything, but will not be a specialist. Agentic AI is the face of AI where it will be specialist. So that's where I think it will move to. That is my take on how it is going to evolve.
So basically, currently AI is a FOMO. Everybody is, either missing out or I have to, good to have that stage. Everybody, but yes, AI is good. If you can bail the cat, so that's the whole point. What do you want out of that? It's a huge gambit. Out of that, whatever your requirement, it can give you. But only thing is that you should know what you want. That's the whole point. Persons who is using it, he should know what he wants, and then it will be helpful for anybody and everybody.
Yeah, you are right. I think the other thing is what you said. क्या करना है के अलावा वो क्या क्या कर सकता है. Where all this current ecosystem can help us, that clarity should be there, and I think it should start from productivity. If the productivity improves, the revenue follows. So if we are
Actually,
able to
productivity in the current stage, I think the productivity part is more to be looked upon.
Yes.
Revenue, yes. Yes, Akash, you were saying something.
On similar lines, we had a similar discussion a couple of weeks back. See, when it comes to predictive AI models, which is on the terms of, say, how to drive additional revenue, how to identify new customer bases, etc. I think the tech startups, or say the old established players who are now building upon their tech stacks, what we just saw in terms of AI, will be providing us solutions. Of course, which one fits our use cases has to be looked on. But when it comes to the productive part, or say the generative AI bit of things, I think everybody in this room would have used chat GPT in the last 1 week or so, at least for 3 different equations. Say maybe to answer a mail, maybe to just draft a process document, to just roll out to a different department, for example. And we are doing it individually in our own capacity. Somebody has actually bought chat ChatGPT subscription, and maybe to level down, that person is using the free version of it. But they're already doing it. I think how the companies standardize it and make it a norm across different departments and make the most efficient use of it while empowering our own team members. I think that's what is the next 2 years is going to be looked at, because predictive, of course, is a longer term approach. The failures as well as the successes will have to be looked upon maybe 6 months or a year down the line. We'll have to at least see 2 seasons of the same use cases to actually scale up on that.
He has a flight to catch, but thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, so let's conclude maybe with just a quick view from Raj, and then we can close this.
Thank you. I think technology is available. If I look at the screen that is there, which is talking about the recommendation of the product, it's about how much we want to consume. It's our, like how Mayank said, it's our journey and at what stage of the journey we are. There are generally times that we adopt, there are times that we follow, and there are times that we lag. But I have had a chance to see many companies do different. I remember when I was looking at the Middle East part of the world, when I started with discussions of CRM, they said, oh, here I come in a white robe and a black robe. What do you want me to do in CRM? But in that same robe, you knew their inner. You knew what to forecast. So, it's about what we can see or what we can't see in our minds also. Sometimes that's the challenge. So I said, okay, fine. Can you now see male and female? Yes, I can see male and female because the white and the black is there. Now, if you're seeing a person in a white robe, you know it's an Arab or a non-Arab. You can see a Bangladeshi, you can see an Indian, you can see a white Caucasian. Let's start with something. I think not starting with something is the challenge. Whilst as there is so much opportunity to look at it, I would only request if we can explore. It doesn't have to be consumed. Just like we are expecting that when we create an awareness of our product and our brand, we are expecting that the consumer is at least understanding. Our job here as a technology partner to companies like yourself is to bring you cutting edge technology. Today, if you look at where Americas is, where Europe is, it's going down. They are not investing in development of technology. How many times have you seen SAP rewritten? Everybody is out to milk what is available. Your company, ETP, is rewriting the platforms. We are learning what's happening in the physical world and in the digital world. We may consume it at any given time, so we are not a master of anything. What we are doing is our customer advisory board presents challenges to us, and we come back and respond with that challenge, and each one consumes at their different times. So I would not like to say anything more than the fact that we all know. My only request is we are trying to make the industry aware. As ETP, the reason we want to sponsor these events, and the thought is we earn from you as a retail company. You are like a god for us. You are a god for us. I present back what I earn in these sponsorships to have an intelligent discussions with like-minded people like ourselves, with y'all, so that y'all can have a great platform to share, learn and exchange knowledge. Whatever y'all tell us, whenever the time is right, we believe in 7 births. So we are okay that you consume it at any given time. There is no hurry for it today. My only request is please let's be aware and let's explore what's possible. And that's the only thought I had. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think lovely to end this. Raj, you really spoke well in terms of our association. Me and Raj, just a minute, me and Raj been known for about 25 years now. That was a time when, 2003-4, when ETP was at a very nascent stage. And I've seen the growth from a POS to a unified commerce company, and credible. And I always keep talking to Raj on what's new, and he throws a lot of ideas. Yeah, ये भी कर सकते हैं, वो भी कर सकते हैं. Sponsorship is something which is by and by. Raj को कभी भी पूछो, he'll never back. But the idea is to bring the best thought leadership into the forum and make use of everyone's need for it. So I think it was a great discussion. Thank you everyone for being here and able to contribute in whatever way you can. Really lovely, loved it this session. Thank you.